Hi, my name is Tom Needham, and I'm the Vice Chairman for the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame, the home of the Everybody Loves Raymond exhibit, the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame music documentary series, the Billy Joel collection, and a great Hall of Fame where Kenny Vance is an inductee. And we're here today with the legendary Kenny Vance to celebrate the release of his movie, Heart and Soul, A Love Story. It's going to be out on DVD and it's going to be available for streaming. We are so honored, Kenny, to have you here. You've been here before. You've shown this film at the Grammy Museum, at the Smithsonian, all over the world, and it's such an honor to be here for this special release of the film.
Thank you. My pleasure. Absolutely. And the streaming that we have now is streaming all over the world, Amazon Prime and Fandango and a couple of other services. So it's very gratifying to know that it's finally out in the world.
So Kenny, this is an incredible story, and I think it goes way back to when you were just 15.
Yes.
I understand that when you were very young, you would listen to the radio, and there were certain artists that you were drawn to that were on the radio, someone like Frankie Lyman. Tell me a little bit about the music you were listening to then.
Well, there was a disc jockey that came to New York from Cleveland, and there was a failing 50,000 watt station called WINS, and they didn't know what to do because they had one last chance. So they brought this disc jockey from Cleveland. His name was Alan Freed, and he started to play music. And as a kid, I just luckily found the dial there, found him, and one night, he would play songs by the Moonglows and the Flamingos, and all of a sudden he played this teenage group called Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, and they had a song called Why Do Fools Fall in Love, and I just was captivated, went crazy when I heard it. And the next day, I went down to wait on the corner for the school bus, and I got on the bus, and before I know it, everybody on the bus started singing Why Do Fools Fall in Love, and I said, I knew something is up, something is going on. And we have a clip from the film of Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers from an Alan Freed movie called Rock, 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 the follow-up to Why Do Fools Fall in Love, Baby, Baby.
Baby, baby.
Baby, baby, how I want you. Baby, baby, how I need you. Baby, baby, you're the only one. 2, 3, 4. Baby, baby, how I miss you. Baby, baby, long to kiss you. Baby, baby, say you want me. 2, 3, 4, 5.
The thing that strikes me watching that clip is that it really seems like the music comes from the heart. And through the years, you've been able to capture that music. And in this film, you were able to go and speak to many of the musicians who made this music.
Yes.
And find out how they did it. That
Yes.
must have been an incredible experience.
It was a great experience because Alan Freed, soon after became successful, he ran the first ever rock and roll show at the Brooklyn Paramount Theater. So all of the kids that were listening to his radio show went to the theater, and we got to see Arlene Smith sing Maybe.
Wow.
She blew the place apart. We got to see Here's the Chantels, and we got to see the Jive Five, and here's Little Anthony and the Imperials, and from the Dubs, Cleveland Still. So it was thrilling to meet these people. Well, I actually had performed with many of them, with the Planetones, but to actually interview them for the film and to find out what they felt like when they were 13 and 15 years old singing at the Brooklyn Paramount was really eye-opening and very exciting. There's a special clip that we're going to show now from the film with Eugene Pitt from the Jive Five, and we went around Bedford-Stuyvesant, the old neighborhood where he grew up, and he wrote My True Story and performed it with his group. It became a top 5 record in the United States. And this was the follow-up that I used that he also wrote called Never, 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 where he's looking out the window and reminiscing about what he saw in the streets. And you see it in his eyes, a lifetime of his dedication to this music.
We used to come down here. They had like the Battle of the Groups. And the Jive 5, we used to come over to party. Yeah. That's the only time they let us in, because all the girls would come out. Come out to hear the Jive 5 singing in the hallway. Never, never, never. No. But those were good days. A lot of fun. Never, never, never. Because I love you so.
You know, Kenny, you've been at this a long time, over half a century.
Don't remind me.
And it's remarkable how you never really gave up on your love of this music.
Yeah.
You stuck with it through the years.
Yeah.
And that's why today is such a special day for us to really honor you, for making this film and all of the effort that you put into this to make such an outstanding movie about doo-wop music.
Thank you. Thank you. It touched me when I was a kid, and I think the blessing comes when something touches you and you're able to carry that with you for your whole life. It's unbelievable. And I did, and the proof is in this film, because it does have, if nothing else, a lot of heart and soul. When I was with Jay and the Americans many, many years later, we were inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame. And I remember we flew into Pittsburgh and got to the Vocal Hall of Fame, and there they were in the parking lot, the original Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, Frankie Lyman's Teenagers, with Bobby J, Dickie Harmon, the original Herman Santiago, and the original Jimmy Merchant.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That made the weekend. I'm done.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Dickie.
Three times. Intro 3 times. 3 times. One more time. Oh, I love so.
As I mentioned earlier, you've shown this film all over the place, including in Los Angeles at the Grammy Museum. And so many people from so many different kinds of musical genres, I've learned, have come out to support you with this film, including Chris Reid from Kid and Play.
Yeah, yeah.
When he was there with you at the screening, he wrote this incredible poem. And I thought it would be nice if we could take a look.
Beautiful. Great. Let's do it.
My name is Christopher Reid. You may know me as Kid. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Smattering of applause, thank you. You may know me from movies such as House Party, House Party 2, and in an amazing display of thespian risk, House Party 3. But it's not about a house party tonight. It's about heart and soul tonight. This is a labor of love by a gentleman I had the pleasure to meet a couple of nights ago, Mr. Kenny Vance, and it's amazing. I got a chance to watch it over the last few days, and one of the things that you'll love about this is his humanity and his respect for that culture, that doo-wop, that set the tone for rock and roll, that set the tone eventually for hip-hop. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. If you don't mind, I wrote a few words down that I'd like to let y'all know. You mind if I get busy on this? Can I share this with y'all? Yeah, this is kind of like my ode to Kenny, and how I felt after watching the film. A young man from Brooklyn had a dream. Music was the goal, but he needed a team. A sound was in the air he couldn't deny. It got in his blood. So he had to try. But the powers that be couldn't see. Do-wop is a fad, most definitely. But the fans grew in numbers. Kenny V could count. The music was religion. The church was the paramount. So the journey began. It was hard and long. They poured their hearts into every song so strong. And before long, the world would know. This do-wop thing would grow and grow and grow. And it lasts to this day. The love never goes away. And that kid from Brooklyn, he's a wise man now. If you come around, he'll tell you sit down. And he'll tell you how much he loved this music that he got to sing, and how he gave it everything, heart and soul.
That was really awesome.
Awesome.
That poem.
He's beautiful.
So, Kenny, one of the things that I heard is that when you set out to make this film, you were the oldest first-time American male director to make a feature music documentary.
Right.
That's incredible.
I didn't set out to set that record, but it took so many years to finally finish it that it's true. I read something, back when I first started, an article by Martin Scorsese, and he said, if you're given the grace at this stage of the game to make a movie, he says, make sure that it's about something that needs to be told. And I always knew that this music was so invaluable to American culture that the fact that I got a chance to do that was like a lifetime's work.
One of the things about this film, it's about the heart and soul of music. And music evolves, and there's different tastes in music all the time. Right now, Latin music is very popular. Right. And as I said earlier, you've been a music supervisor, a music producer for many years, and some people don't even realize that you were very influential in bringing Latin music to the mainstream in some ways.
Well, thank you. With Jay and the Americans, a couple of our records were Latin records. We had Willie Bobo and Johnny Rodriguez on conga drums on Come a Little Bit Closer, and on Let's Lock the Door, Willie Bobo on timbales. So we had a Latin orchestra there. But as years went by, as fate would have it, I ran into a guy, and he says to me, I'm with Fania Records, and he wanted me to produce a couple of records for him, do some crossover recording. And one of the artists that he had was a guy named Ralphie Pagan. Mm-hmm. And when I got involved with it, I wound up using the Fania All-Stars with Johnny Pacheco and Yomo Toro and Orestes Velato, all of these guys that were just brilliant artists. And I used them on the recording. I remember singing with Johnny Pacheco, the backgrounds in Spanish he taught me. And then years later, when I was on Saturday Night Live, I was doing a song that I had written called The Performer, which was an American song, an English lyric song with a munduno, which is a type of Latin rhythm. And I brought the Fania All-Stars onto Saturday Night Live, so it was really a thrill for me.
That's incredible, Kenny. It's been a joy speaking to you today here at the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. The museum celebrates the artists, stories, and history that shaped the soundtrack of our lives. And you are such an important part of it.
Thank you.
While our Music Documentary Film Festival spotlights the connection between music and film, today we're proud to bring that spirit here in a special way by honoring someone who already holds a permanent place in this Hall of Fame, an artist whose career beautifully bridged music and film, our friend Kenny Vance.
Thank you.
The Legacy Award recognizes a lifetime devoted not only to creating unforgettable music, but to bringing music stories to life on screen. Kenny has helped shape the sound and spirit of films like American Hot Wax, National Lampoon's Animal House, Eddie and the Cruisers, and Hairspray. In each project, the music didn't just accompany the story, it drove it and it gave it heart. You've also appeared on screen, appearing in over 6 Woody Allen films and adding another chapter to your remarkable career. But perhaps your most personal and powerful contribution is the documentary Heart and Soul: A Love Story.
Yes.
A deeply moving tribute to the doo-wop pioneers who built the foundation of rock and roll. Through this film, you've transformed a lifetime of musical passion into lasting cultural preservation, ensuring these voices are not only remembered, but celebrated as essential to American musical history. The Legacy Award honors artists whose work preserves history, amplifies influential voices, and deepens our understanding of music's impact through film. Your film embodies that perfectly. So with great pride and admiration on behalf of the Music Documentary Film Series, it's my honor to present the Legacy Award to my friend, an inductee, lifelong champion of music history, Kenny Vance.
Thank you, Tom. Here it is. Leave it to Tom to think about this. He's the best. He's the voice of the museum, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank
Tom.
you, Kenny.
You're really beautiful. Thank you.
And I understand, Kenny, that we're not the only one who appreciates what you've done with this movie. There's quite a few very well-known names who also wanted to congratulate you. And they've sent in some video clips that we're going to take a look at.
Great.
So thank you again for being here, and let's take a look
pleasure.
at some of those clips.
Great, let's do it.
Hello, everybody. This is Tony Orlando. This is such a privilege to be able to congratulate one of the greatest artists, singers, producers, songwriters, historian. Congratulate Kenny Vance for being inducted, and righteously so, into the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. My God, I can't think of anybody who deserves this more. I've known Kenny over 60 years. I've watched him dedicate his life to the music, to film, to being involved with playing and being the leader over there at Saturday Night Live, making sure that no one ever forgets the great music and the great artists of the doo-wop years and pop years. He is, in my opinion, one of the greats of our industry, and I want to congratulate also the Long Island Music Hall of Fame for recognizing and giving this man this Legacy Lifetime Achievement Award. So again, this is Tony Orlando. Kenny Vance, congratulations to you. No one deserves this more. I've learned a lot from you, and I just want you to know that I approve this message. Not only do I approve it, but it's from the bottom of my heart. Congratulations, Kenny. The singing, the historian, the producer, the everything that you are has taught me a lot too. Again, congratulations. Tony Orlando here saying, Long Island Music Award goes to Kenny Vance.
Hi, this is Chazz Palminteri, and I want to congratulate my dear friend Kenny Vance for receiving the Long Island Legacy Award for this incredible documentary, Heart and Soul. I mean, this is a love story for Kenny Vance to the old rock and roll. I mean, when you talk about great singers, you talk about Larry Chance, Jimmy Beaumont, Johnny Maestro. Kenny Vance is right up there in the Mount Rushmore with all these guys. Kenny, congratulations, folks. You've got to see this documentary. It's truly a love story. If you don't cry, you don't have a heart or a soul. God bless you.
Hi, Kenny. I want to congratulate you on your induction into the Long Island Hall of Fame. I'm very proud of you, and keep doing it, dude. You're doing a great job.
When I was invited to say a few words about Kenny, at first I was thrilled. I thought, oh yeah, that'll be easy. I'll be glad to. And then I thought about it, and I thought, they said a few words. That's going to be difficult for me, so bear with me. When it came to music, I was lucky enough to meet Kenny Vance, and how I met him was, I was about to hire someone else to do Eddie and the Cruises with me. Nancy Copper, my casting director, said, there's somebody before you hire the guy to do the music. There's someone I want you to meet. So miraculously, I went to a cocktail party and there was Kenny. And everything clicked from that moment on. And Kenny and I did every movie I ever did again after that, with him doing the music. And it's one of the greatest relationships I've ever had. I love the guy dearly, and I'm thrilled to get to speak to you about him.
Hi, Kenny. It's Jay Wimaway Siegal. Congratulations on receiving the Lifetime Legacy Award. Your life's work is a treasure. So many wonderful accomplishments. You deserve it, my friend. And I'm proud and happy to call you my friend. I love you, Kenny.
Hello, Kenny. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your cousin Brucey. Kenny, I just want to congratulate you on being honored by the Long Island Music Hall of Fame for your poem, your beautiful film, Heart and Soul, a love story. It's our story. Proud of it. So anyway, you're getting this Lifetime Legacy Award, and it's very deserving. You did a beautiful job. Beautiful, beautiful history. Thank you so much. Kenny, we've been friends for a long time, and I cherish that friendship. I'm your cousin Brucey. Kenny, congratulations.
Hi, I'm Paul Shaffer, and I'm here to talk about my dear friend, Kenny Vance. Now, Kenny, as a kid, put together a group of like-minded guys who sang in the streets of Brooklyn, New York. And if they could get the right reverb in the subway, they sang beautiful harmonies and bel canto melodies. And they sang of the romance and the heartbreak of the streets with sincerity and urgency. And they brought that sincerity and urgency across the bridge up to the Brill Building in Manhattan, and they became Jay and the Americans, and they sang beautiful songs and records like Cara Mia and Only in America and Come a Little Bit Closer, and She Cried. My goodness. And then Kenny went on to have a wonderful solo career. And let me tell you, if he had only recorded the beautiful song Looking for an Echo, kind of the theme song of this do-wop movement, if he had only done that, Dianu, if you know what I mean. But no, he went on, and he, even to this day, performs beautiful shows as Kenny Vance and the Planetones, a tribute to his era of love and affection and doo-wop music. And my goodness, now that he has become a director and he has released the very emotional, very sincere, very urgent Heart and Soul, a love story, he carries on this sincerity and his love for the music of the streets and the sincerity and the romance of the streets of Brooklyn, New York. And he, with this movie, he really seals his legacy. And he ensures that he is worthy of this honor that he receives this evening, this honor of Lifetime Legacy Award from the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. Kenny Vance, we love you. You're our heart and soul. Congratulations.
So, Tom, that was so heartfelt by these people. I want to thank my dear friend Tony Orlando, Chazz Palminteri, Anthony Gourdine, Little Anthony from the Imperials, Marty Davidson, the director of Lords of Flatbush, Eddie and the Cruisers, Looking for an Echo, Jay Siegal from the Tokens, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, Cousin Bruce Morrow, Where Would We Be Without Cousin Brucey, and my dear friend Paul Shaffer, who everybody knows. And also a dear friend of ours from Kid and Play, Reid. Thank you very much.